What is a hobby your girlfriend/wife has that you think is really cool? She bakes. Amazingly. Best cookies I've ever had. Amazing pies. Good enough to make me disappointed in other people's cookies. She's also very artistic. Mostly painting and photography. Even the stuff she considers May is really good. My wife has really gotten into houseplants. I was supportive at first, then watching the house turn into a jungle, I slowly found myself looking at plants everywhere. Now I take care of the plants too and also pick some out for myself. I like plants. My wife did this too. The interesting thing was that she wasn't into plants before we were married. The only plants she had before moving in with me were a cacti and a little bamboo plant. So at first I was a little baffled when she started to plant peppers, pineapples and tomatoes. Now I also water them when she's busy doing something else. It's nice how one gets influenced, in a positive way, by your soul, and most of the times you don't even notice until someone makes you reflect on your relationship, like this post. My wife has an addiction to houseplants. We live in Hawaii, so they grow like crazy. Our entire patio is covered with them, too. I will say that I never realized how much they brighten the house until we moved here and she gave all of her previous plants away and how barren the house felt before leaving. Definitely a better addiction than just about anything else out there, so I've stopped teasing her about it. The last thing I want is to have her redirect that energy to something less desirable. She makes household items, clothing and knickknacks. She's made our coffee cups, bowls, plates, sweaters, blankets, hats, paintings/drawings/calendars. She handled decor for our wedding and made all these crazy decorations, party favors, 200 individual custom invitations. She also sells earrings, necklaces, greeting cards to local small businesses and does booths at festivals. I grow succulents and sell them and she makes all the plant pots for them. Oh my, you two are living the dream. Even though my fashion style doesn't seem like it, I'm super into old-fashioned stuff like sewing, pottery, cooking, and even woodworking, and I would love to live like that. I find the imperfections endearing and satisfaction in the making process. I'm in uni and this year I have not bought a loaf of bread yet. Does she go to a studio or do y'all have a kiln? It must be so cute to live surrounded by handmade goods filled with love. My girlfriend loves architecture and building, so she plays a game called Blockcraft, which is like Minecraft but only the building aspect. She has like 200k likes on her current world. She should look into an architectural technology degree. It's only a 2-year degree and when you're done you'll be able to get a job working for a building company or an architectural firm designing and laying out houses/buildings using the Revit software on a computer. She could then turn her hobby into a job. My girlfriend is an amazing hiker. She once hiked 46 miles in a single day across a mountain range. It's called the Ranger Marathon. She's like a wood elf. I'm the same as your GF, I can eat through miles on a trail. My personal longest distance is 56 miles in one day. I stopped for a sleep on a beach and walked straight to the pub on the way back to the cabin. I was knackered. My girlfriend enjoys an odd walk every now and then. We went out for a hike a couple months ago during a break in the weather for it to turn and go completely insane. It was raining horizontal. We called it and turned back. I was rather disappointed because I love hiking and I was so close to being where I always want to be, in the bush covered in mud, dragging myself up a mountain. She has always been supportive of my getting lost in the wild, but she's always been nervous about getting out herself. Since the last hike we tried together, she joined a gym to get fit so we can go to more remote places together and has taken up learning everything she can, which she thinks might help her. It's been great. I also did the hike we attempted alone. It was a muddy bog for 2 hours all the way up the mountain. The view was good but it still sucked the whole time. She runs marathons and I think it's insanely crazy. She's closing in on 4 hours and I just can't fathom running 26.2 miles for that long. My GF always ran half marathons and she got me into running this year. We're doing our first marathons this month and next. Honestly, I hate running but I love eating, so if I can eat essentially twice as much and stay in shape, sign me up. Yes. Fuel your body. It took me a while to not eat as much since my athletic career ended. HS and college athlete, that was 6+ solid years of trying to pack on lean muscle. Now I'm trying to avoid packing on fat. 8 hours at a desk per day and 6 hours in a classroom plus homework and studying each week have limited the amount of time I can devote to physical activity. My wife paints and draws. I love her style. I can't even draw a stick figure. Edit. Also, nobody readies quite as effectively as passionately as she does. Is Reddit a hobby? If so, apparently I have a hobby. Me too. This is good news as this thread was starting to make me feel like a huge failure. Girlfriends are out there doing fucking violin backbends and kart racing while I can barely find the time and energy to crack a book. My girlfriend races karts. I find it really cool to watch her race. Edit. She also knows a lot about cars and fixing them, which I find sexy. Picturing you offer to go on a date and go karting and show off a little. But then 3 laps in and she's hammering lap times down and passing you on the outside. Not going to lie, since I've never raced, that'd most probably happen. My girl snowboards. I love that because I get to snowboard and spend time with my girlfriend. At the same damn time. Yo, same here. A friend of mine invited me up to the mountain with a few people who were new to snowboarding. After getting a few runs in myself, I saw one of the girls we were with struggling, so I figured I'd stop and help her out. Been together ever since, and that was 4 years ago in February. Grew up snowboarding, worked at a ski hill a couple winters. It's crazy to see how high the percentage is of pissed off girlfriends retiring to the warm lodge, leaving their boyfriends to go have fun. It was almost comical how many guys I would see look down to their bindings in disbelief because their girl just made the call to go home, when they've only been there for an hour. There's few students out there in the world that are harder to teach than teaching your girlfriend how to snowboard. Luckily for me, when I taught mine a couple winters ago, unlike most, she had a positive attitude to the entire experience. No matter how many times she fell. At one point she decided I gave her too many instructions and told me to go to the higher slopes for an hour while she took it on by herself to try to figure it out. Then at some point a guy came up to her on skis and gave her a suggestion that made everything click for her. She loved it. My girlfriend crochets. I think it's really cool she can make hats and mittens and make her own patterns. My wife has started making little adorable sushi rolls with faces. They are currently distracting her from her previous project of hats with ears. She made our cats a sushi roll stuffed with catnip. Hilarious. My wife can draw, paint or doodle anything. It's obvious that she was born with this talent. However, what's really cool about her is that she has been able to live with me for 50+ years. My fiancée is a 2-time collegiate disc golf champion and is weirdly good at any sport she tries. We get married tomorrow. She forges swords and does weapon-based fight choreography. Amazing. I used to be a professional ballerina, but also trained in Muay Thai and BJJ. Fight choreography is on my dream job list, but not much demand for it in rural Scotland. Are there any films/programs she would recommend specifically for high-quality weapon-based fight choreography? My girlfriend is a bit of a bookworm and I'm always so amazed and in awe at the amount of books she has in her room, along with how much reading she can get done within a week, a month and a year's time. She also frequently donates her unwanted and completed books to teachers in her city and to her local library, and on top of thinking how cool she is, I've always admired how she gives back. Love her to bits. Or, that's sweet. I will warn you, though. I, too, have a book problem. Eventually it may not be so endearing when she can't feed her book a day habit and gets super cranky like I do. Thankfully all of my family has this problem, so we all pull out our Kindles when we get together and share authors. But it does get pricey. My wife is black, and for the longest time I was not aware that a lot of black women wear wigs. But we sometimes go to the wig shop and she'd let pick a wig for her or just have me there to give opinions. Once we're home she'll proceed to cut and style the hair so that way it fits comfortably and also complements her face shape and structure. I just think it's amazing how she is able to do this without any formal schooling. I know it may not be a hobby, but I think it's really cool, and her confidence glows when she has different types of hair. Makes me happy. I'm Mediterranean with crazy curly hair. I'll pretty much only take hair advice from black girls, and for whatever reason Dominican girls. They understand managing stress/breakage while styling, what humectants and emulsifiers do, and how to maintain style during the night and in all kinds of weather. Good hair is an art so few appreciate. My fiancée is a violinist. When I first met her I was like, oh okay, cool, you play violin. I play piano and do some electronic music. Except she doesn't just play, she's basically got a violin prosthetically attached to her. The first time I saw her do a backbend on stage while playing Crystallized by Lindsey Stirling, I realized she was just leagues away from my musical ability. Now she's in 2 symphonies, a duo, a quartet, teaches about 15 people, is orchestrating a tour through New York, and is thinking about working toward her PhD in performance. Just good God. I wanted someone who had a drive like I did, but she makes me seem lazy, haha. Very cool, but maybe at this point it's time to stop calling it a hobby. I'm a musician too, studied my instrument and play professionally and also teach a lot. Sometimes people are like, he likes making music as a hobby. I know people who say this stuff are just not that aware of what I'm doing, but I find it a bit insulting. It's like saying, he likes to cut open people as a hobby although you are a surgeon. Please don't take it personally, it just hit too close to home.